Good afternoon. Today I am sitting in the
Norwin Christian Church.
and I have the pleasure of meeting for the first time Brother
Joshua Persall.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you taking time. It is a wintry day out there today, but we are nice and warm in this beautiful church that just seems to go on and on. You're very fortunate to have such a facility. How long have you been here?
So the church has been here since 1965, so over 60 years.
But you're not quite that old.
I am not, so, I'm sorry. I've personally been here about 5 years, going on 6 now, going on 6.
Where'd you come from?
I came from mostly Tennessee, spent most of my adult life in Tennessee, 3 years in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio area, and now 5 years here in Western PA.
All right. Which accent is it the Tennessee accent or the Pennsylvania Yunzes, Pittsburghese? What do you fall into when you...
I probably don't belong in any of the categories. So,
I don't hear anything.
Okay, that's what a lot of people say. If I were talking to my mom on the phone in Alabama, it might come through, but
that's hard not to. Yeah.
But I probably don't fall into any category. I haven't fully picked up all of the Western PA isms.
You never will.
Okay.
No. But you have to be born here.
But we're thankful to be here. We love being here in Western PA and feel like God has called us here and excited for the calling that we have.
That's tremendous. Is this your first ministry, or have you been in the ministry for a while?
So I graduated college in engineering, mechanical engineering. I got into sales, got into corporate spaces, and then transferred into ministry sales. Kind of interesting transfer. So I was doing ministry sales, but then ultimately I really felt a call to be serving at the church level. So then my first church staff role was in Ohio. And then now, so that's only about 8 or 9 years in a church staff position.
Oh, that's terrific. I'm a firm believer from doing these interviews. There's no experience before the ministry that you can't use in the ministry. Even if it's a bad experience, at least you know, or even a sinful experience, yeah. You can take on the challenges of the ministry, using what you learned before. Is that the case with you when you had your corporate gig? Did those skills that you've learned there help you today?
You know, I feel like they have. I think one of the challenges as ministers or pastors that we face is just wanting to relate to people. And I think with my different jobs and different dynamics that I've had, sometimes people are surprised because I maybe understand their language about work maybe more than they expect me to. So I think there's a lot there that relates.
When you got into the ministry from the corporate world, it was the corporate world, right?
Yeah. Yes.
What surprised you most? What were the differences? What did you have to adjust?
Yeah, so going from the corporate world into vocational ministry, I think just even though I'm very much a people lover, and that was part of what I think called me into the ministry, I think the fact that we're not looking at a bottom line, we're not looking at dollars and cents, we're not looking at number of widgets sold, but we're looking at the spiritual condition of people. Not that I didn't know that going in, but I think it's just the reality of this is the business, if you will say,
right,
that we're in, the business of ministry.
Absolutely. Very well put. I appreciate that. What do you, if somebody would follow you around throughout your week, what do you think would surprise them about how you're preparing for Sunday or the tasks that you have to accomplish as pastor here at the Norwin Christian Church?
Yeah, an interesting, maybe an interesting dynamic to my role as an executive minister is that a lot of what I do are helping with systems and helping with programs and things that put people in spaces to learn the gospel, to grow in their faith. So a lot of what I do as an executive minister does have a little bit of that business flavor to it. Yes. But ultimately it's about ministry, it's about people having a relationship with God.
And you're doing very well here?
I really
enjoy
the church.
The church.
It is. Yeah. Things are going well here. Yeah. I mean, COVID was tough on us, yes, like everybody.
Right.
But we are thankful that our in-person attendance is back to where it was and a little more than before COVID.
I'm glad to hear that.
So that's a praise because we know that's not every place.
No, that's not.
So that's a praise.
Trust me, that's not everywhere.
Yeah.
Now, you were telling me before I turned the camera on that you have a new ministry geared toward youth. Would you like to explain and promote that?
Sure. Small groups is something that we've been doing for a while, something I was very much involved in when I first came here. But something we've noticed just in the past couple seasons is more of a demand for small groups for young families. So we just started a second young family small group here in January. Still have space in that group. We could still bring people into that. And I know as people are looking for a place to grow in their faith, to practice their faith, a place for their children to learn their faith, people are looking for different things. Small groups are something that we're extremely passionate about here because we want people to be in the circles, not just in the rows, and how they're learning to follow God. So if you're a young family, we'd love to tell you about the small groups that we have available and maybe other things that would be good fit for where you are as a young family raising your children.
Well, if you have young families and young children coming here, you're very blessed, because one of the things I hear from the other churches I've been to is they just have no young families. They have no young children. So you're doing an awesome job by bringing them in. And this would be a good place if you have a young family to come into Norwin Christian Church. What are the times of your services?
Sure. Sunday morning, 8:45 and 10:30. So they're identical services. We do contemporary music. So some people that's a plus. Some people that's not their choice, and that's all good. But we do have that. And then the children's programs, we have all of those going during both services. So the services are pretty much identical.
And while we're at it, give the address of your church.
Sure. We're here in North Huntington Township, 9610 Barnes Lake Road. And probably the best thing is just to go to our website, norwinchristianchurch.com.
Very good. Now, I understand you're a family man.
I am blessed, and I am busy and tired.
Well, tell how long have you been married?
Sure, I've been married 19 years now.
Oh, congratulations. And you have a few children?
We do. We're blessed with five.
Very good. And they're various ages.
But between 3 and 15, they're kind of where the birthdays are right now. They're actually stair steps. We didn't plan it this way. It was all God's timing. But 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15.
Oh, that's good. That's tremendous. Being that we're just a few weeks into 2024, what do you think are the challenges that are facing your church or Christianity in general in the coming year?
Yeah, well, you made a comment that's so true about just a lot of churches. That next generation is not present right now,
That's true.
and we know that there are those who know God and God is in their hearts, and maybe they're not going to a church to fellowship with other believers. So that's something that's very much at my heart is helping people of faith understand how important it is that they have others in their life where they are getting connected, they're doing life together based on a common faith in Jesus Christ. Because when you read the New Testament, there's just no way to ignore how important that is. So that's a passion of mine as we go into 2024. Maybe there's some families who maybe stepped away during COVID that we can still reach out to, but definitely reaching out to those newer ones, inviting them into community, because God says this is the way you practice your faith. You do this together. You know, it's an individual faith, but we practice it together. So that's a passion of mine as we go into 2024.
It's a very good passion to have. What's your favorite thing about the ministry?
Yeah, so I kind of going to my goal, but I just enjoy so much helping everyone find their place.
Yes.
And I believe, as the scriptures teach, that the body of Christ has all these different gifts, and when everyone is being who God created them to be, that's what the beautiful body of Christ looks like all together. So I love helping people find their place and them feeling like there's a place for them in the local church and they're needed in the local church for the mission of God.
What frustrates you? I asked the one question.
Yeah.
What is something that you don't really care for? I don't want to say hate.
Yeah.
But what is it that really you struggle with?
Yeah. So sometimes, and this is on us, as humans, is sometimes the institution of church with all of the cultural influences, it's so easy for it to get off target sometimes.
Sure.
And we all churches have their traditions and we have ours. But once something gets off target, it takes a lot of intentionality to bring it back. So sometimes I look at things, I'm like, wow, it should be like this, but it's like this, and just the patience in bringing those things back. So
if everyone would just listen to you, and just
of course
blindly obey,
yeah.
the world would be. I know. I'm
yeah.
teasing you.
Starting with my children, right?
Oh, this is true. Yeah, I'm sure that's true. So we have a few minutes left. I'm just going to give the floor over to you. If you would give people an encouraging word to come to your church, or encouraging word just to get through their day today. Whatever you'd like to say, the camera is yours.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Sure.
So, just everyone, just understand that you were created by God, and that God has a purpose for your life. He knows you. He knows who you are uniquely. He knows every hair on your head, and it's an amazing thought that the Creator of the universe loves us like that. But I just want that truth to be yours, for you to understand that and know that that's true, regardless of who you are. And then additionally, you have a place in God's church, that He wants you to be in a relationship with Him through Jesus, and He wants you to be part of a local group of believers who are committed to His mission, committed to each other, sharing their burdens, sharing the good things and the challenges of life, and being on mission for Him to know God and to help the entire world and everyone in our sphere of influence know about the good news of Jesus Christ, what He's done for us, how we can be in relationship with Him in this life and the life that is to come. So those are huge truths that we challenge you to take those to heart and know God's love for you in that way.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay.
Thank you for your time. This is a busy man, but he made time for me. I so very much appreciate it. Until next time, God bless.